Did I ever tell you my plans to conquer the world?
No.
Well, I won't.
Elaborate.
So.
Oh, you won't?
No.
Oh.
Not today. Not in front of you guys. That's all I got.
I think Giules is Giules watching right now? Is she actively watching?
No.
That's too bad.
She's in Florida. She has maybe better things to do.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it's nice there. It's got to be pretty warm because it's pretty nice
I was going to say
here.
it's temperate here right now. It's like 40.
Temperate.
Yeah, it's a nice
You
word.
should be a weatherman.
I should be a dictionary with all the words that I just throw out randomly.
You know, one of Jack's vocabulary words was juxtapose.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had brought it up in the podcast last time. And I was like, oh, juxtapose.
Yeah. Juxtaposition is a fun word to say. Juxtapose, juxtaposition.
I think I read a book called Juxtaposition at one point.
There's a book just called Juxtaposition. That's the name.
Yeah, I think it was part of a series. It was like a weird thing where it was like with some kind of like survival games or like case system with games, and there was a bunch of things that could happen for you to be placed. Like some of them were just pure luck. So you would draw, like it would be like a chance game, and then one would be like some kind of like straight up luck. You would just sit down in front of somebody and then you flip over cards, and whoever had the highest card won. And then there'd be like battle games, and there'd be like actual sports, and it was wild. But I don't know what it had to do. I don't know. I read it when I was, I don't know how old I was, like 14.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Cool.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me was just thinking that like not having Giules feels like, even though normally, I mean, this is just a true fact, we do most of the talking. Poor Giules sometimes just sits there listening to us. But like, it's nice to have her to mediate. In the sense of like she does a good job of like, you know, adding like a different voice and third party into everything.
She does.
It feels kind of weird to not have her here right now.
I know.
What I'm truly trying to say is I wish you were here and podcasting with us, Giules. Get back.
Yeah.
We hope you're enjoying Florida, of course, but we want you back.
But stop.
But stop enjoying Florida and get back here.
What dog?
Okay. I think I'm ready to go. Are you feeling more energetic than you were?
I'm feeling more alive.
Yeah. Is the coffee helping?
The coffee is.
Okay. Cool.
I got the wolf dog air aura here.
Are you able to just fall asleep after drinking coffee? Like if you were to go home and then go to bed like 2 hours, 3 hours from now, would you fall asleep? Mm-hmm. That's impressive. I can't do it.
I think it's like isn't that just like a gene trait?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Just like somehow like how you deal with coffee. I think it's because I'm ADD. So like stimulants are weird for me, for us.
For us.
Yeah.
For us ADDers.
Yeah. So I think that might be the reason.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I couldn't drink like 3 cups and then go to bed. That's like excessive. But I could have a cup of coffee and then go right to bed. Sometimes they say that one of the best ways that actually anybody can nap is to drink a cup of coffee, then go right to sleep, and then have it almost like wake you up.
Coffee naps are amazing.
20 minutes later.
I've done that plenty of times before, but it's also not like
Seattle
just like it's not just like a way to sleep at night though, right? It's not like you're getting 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep.
No, it's a nap thing. It's very much a nap thing. Yeah, for sure.
You Seattle folk, like we're the only ones who drink coffee.
You guys have invented coffee.
That's totally true. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about facts.
Starbucks was the first one.
Starbucks was the originator.
The original coffee maker of the world.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, Starbucks.
How long has Starbucks been around?
Sometime in the 70s. 1971,
that
72,
long?
I think. Yeah.
Although I guess that's not that long.
73 maybe. I don't know. Mike, could you look that up for us real quick?
Yeah.
I really want to know.
Check that stat, Mike.
Yeah.
Stat
Give
boy.
us
We
that
got our
stat.
own version of Stat Boy. Wait, where are you going?
By the way, he's talking to Chufferton right now, who's just moseying around.
What is she? Why?
She's been obsessed with wires recently. Oh, nope. No, she's just going back to the bed. Although I don't trust her. No. She's going and she's plopping herself down and she's sleeping.
That's good.
Cool.
All right. I just didn't want her to
She did what we
go to the
needed her to
bathroom.
do. Well, that,
did
yeah,
what
for
we
sure.
came
That
here
one.
to do.
Mike, do you have that ear for us?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm still reading.
Oh, is it
What
not
was
just
it?
like on the Wikipedia page?
Well, yeah, but I was looking at something else first because it says 1971, and that doesn't make sense.
Why does that
a-
not make
that's
sense?
actually-
That's what I said, which
Yeah.
would make me right.
That would make you right.
That's why
pretty
it didn't make any sense.
Ooh.
That's mean.
Yeah. Seemed a little unnecessary.
Yeah.
March 31st
March 31st.
I love last year.
of 1971.
March 31st, 1971 was when Starbucks started.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
my
I was
birthday.
so I was right. It was
Just kidding.
1971. Okay, cool. That makes me feel a little bit more validated in my Seattle-ness.
I told you.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Starbucks, and when coffee was created.
It's that West Coast shit.
1971. It's that West Coast shit. I love that you guys have just made it a thing to start saying that whenever I say anything.
I don't think I know a lot of people
There's barely anybody that
were
out here from
birthed on the West Coast.
Yeah.
You popped out on the West Coast?
Popped out, yes. It's a super weird way to say that, but yes.
I'm a super weird guy.
That's fair, man. But yeah, I was popped out in Seattle.
Hey, before you go any further,
Yes.
let's go with the first question.
Okay.
But
Okay.
is that what we're doing today?
That's actually.
Oh.
I see now why Mike
The
interrupted.
wise, we should never
because
question him.
He, sorry, Mike, once again for questioning your authority. The first question is, did you grow up here? And that's an easy answer for me, which is no, because
I would
birthed
say
in
yes.
Seattle.
You've done a lot of growing in the past year.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I was birthed in Seattle.
Popped out.
Popped out in Seattle back in 1992. Good year. Grunge was taking over the world.
True.
I was a newborn baby, so I didn't really know if it was or not, but I'm assuming. Let's see, what else was going on in 92?
We had the good old crack epidemic.
Oh, yeah, that was
So
cool.
that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, fun times.
Grunge and crack, baby.
Grunge and Crack. That sounds like an album name.
Yeah. See how easy it is to start a grunge band?
Yeah, in Seattle.
Yeah.
And 92.
Right.
We would have been famous.
Would have been.
Yeah.
Could have been.
We might still be.
Still be.
Yeah, cool. Where were you born?
I was born here.
But like where specifically in Maryland?
Shady Grove Hospital.
Where is that? Where is that?
It's like Gaithersburg area.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I grew up until I was like 4, I was out in Wheaton. But then our ice cream man was selling drugs, and my parents were like, and then there was a hostage situation across the street.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was a lot of things going on.
Wait, so first question.
Yeah.
Where is that area? You said Wheaton?
Wheaton.
Where is that exactly?
Like north of Silver Spring, or it's like
Oh, yeah, okay. I know Silver
part of, I don't know if it's considered part of Silver Spring or not.
Yeah.
But it's not within 495.
Okay.
It's like 29 goes over 495 and then goes into the main part of Silver Spring.
Okay.
Because Silver Springs kind of sprawls out.
Yeah.
I was on the part before you get into
Okay.
495 and stuff.
And so your ice cream man was also selling drugs.
Yeah.
What types of drugs?
I
just drugs?
never got to ask, which
He
bothers
didn't
me to
offer
this day.
you the drugs?
No, I mean, I was like a fresh 3-4-year-old.
I mean,
So I felt like
if you get him started young, maybe.
that's what I thought he would try to do. So
I don't know. It seems
I mean, I doubt he's still in business anymore because he was aiming at the wrong crowd, obviously.
yeah.
So,
Well, maybe he was aiming at all the crowds because he was selling ice cream for the kids and then drugs for the parents.
ooh,
Yeah.
that's actually a really good business. So
Yeah.
maybe he is still in business.
I was gonna say, who
God
knows?
bless him.
Well, if he's not in jail,
Yeah,
probably in
yeah, it's very illegal.
if you knew that he was selling drugs, the cops probably also knew.
Yeah, and he probably had some competition, so he could also be dead.
Of course, yeah. Classic Wheaton stuff.
Classic Wheaton stuff. This took quite a turn.
Yeah, it did. What was the last part?
There was a hostage situation across
hostage
the
situation.
street.
Yeah. Okay.
I think some guy was. It was domestic. So, I don't remember any of this stuff, but I remember being in the house, and I also remember. I remember a bunch of stuff, but a couple memories, couple Dan memories.
Okay.
Well, first there was a hostage situation. A guy I think was unhappy with his wife.
Okay.
And took his wife and his kids hostage. I don't know what ended up happening with it.
How old were you?
I don't know, up to 4.
Okay.
I'm guessing that it was towards the end, so it must have been like 3 or 4, because these events are the things that my parents kept quoting.
Dude, want to know
Why they
something?
moved out.
Want to know something crazy?
I do.
I found this out is that you don't actually create true memories until you're like 4 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe all
the
my
stuff
memories
all
are
the
from
stuff beforehand is like is essentially just something that you've or I shouldn't say you don't retain true memories until you're like 4 years old. Everything up until that point is just something that you've fabricated based on stuff that you've heard, essentially. And so you create like a scenario in your own head.
That's interesting.
You might have been old enough to remember like 4 years old, because I remember stuff when I was like 4,
Yeah.
but like I actually had this thought where I was like, yeah, there's definitely stuff where I've just like
I don't
fabricated
remember
memories.
I feel like I remember being older in that house all the time.
Okay.
So I feel like all my memories might be from when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Because it's not a ton either.
Yeah.
Like I remember when we were moving, so I had to be 4, and I was crawling around a bunch of cardboard boxes, and it was amazing.
Nice.
And I had this awesome squirt gun that I was pretending was like a real gun, and had like a long barrel on it, and then I broke it against something, and I was very disappointed by that, because then it wasn't as cool. I remember that I wanted to be a tugboat driver at one point. I remember riding a rocking horse to some kind of Disney music downstairs. There was this really cool Triceratops next door. Triceratops toy. It was like part robot and then like dinosaur. And it was awesome.
That's cool.
And I would play over there all the time with my friend Steven.
Okay.
And he was older than me.
Yeah.
But then I don't know what I was doing one day, and I just decided that I needed to go over there and I needed to get that toy because I wanted to play with it. So I wasn't trying to steal it. Just wanted to get it. So I went over there. No one was home when I knocked. So I was like, I'll just go get the toy.
Yeah.
So I went in. And then it was I think they were Eastern European of some sort, and a lot of them didn't speak English.
Okay. And it's just in the general Wheaton area?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It was
really?
on Dalewood Drive was where we lived.
Okay.
That's not going to mean anything. to you,
Nothing.
but,
Not a single thing.
So then I went into this house to get this Triceratops, and this grandma came exploding out of one of the bedrooms and saw me and just started yelling at me in some other language.
Really?
Yeah, and I was freaked out. So I ran.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I remember that. And then I remember running a race against my friend Johnny, who lived next door, who had a really crazy mom.
Yeah.
Really crazy, because I remember she dropped a fork on her big toe and like cut it, or at least that's what she said. I didn't see her drop it. I just remember her saying she cut her big toe and she was bleeding everywhere. And then she asked if I wanted to kiss it, and I was like, no. And then I like ran away.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an interesting neighborhood.
Yeah,
But
I
I
can tell.
raced
Seems like an
Johnny and I
interesting...
beat him, and then he lied and said that the finish line was farther than it was.
Yeah.
And then he kept doing that every time we would race, and it really pissed me off.
You had a really interesting childhood, man.
I don't know how interesting that is. Those are all just like weird memories from when I was 4.
Nonetheless, they're it sounds like they're fascinating stories. Let's put it that way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
guess.
I didn't actually. So I was born in Seattle, but my mom and dad immediately moved out to a suburb called Bothell, and then just roll with
Bothell.
it. Bothell. Yep.
So you didn't like grow up in a brothel,
No,
and they were just trying to
without an
all right.
R. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bothell, and then I was there for just like
Brothel boy.
I was just there for a year, and then we moved to Snohomish, which is where my dad still lives. And I was out there until I was 7 years old, and then my mom and I moved back into the actual city of Seattle.
Oh man, I have this. There's so much to this. But anyway, we're at my friend's house one time. We throw a party. One of my other friends, so the one kid whose house was Brendan, and my friend Chris was there, and so Chris was. She comes home. So Brendan's mom comes home. We're all like, people are all over the floor. People are in the beds upstairs. Chris is in the master bedroom with a girl.
Yeah.
And so Brendan's mom goes upstairs and finds him in there, and
Nice.
she freaks out and just starts screaming. And I don't think she was living
Yeah.
in the house at this time. I think she just came in
Okay.
for whatever reason. And then she started yelling at the girl, and she's like, "Get out of here, you whore!"
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they just straight up called her a whore, and like
Damn.
that's how some of us woke up, is we
Yeah.
just heard the screaming. We're like, "Oh my god!" And yeah, so that was the only time that she was mean per se. There's a lot of other stuff going on.
Jeez, dude.
But because the other thing, we had a great time at my friend Bennett's house. So he was the other one. So we go to Bennett's house. One time we bought this car for $100.
$100?
Yeah, $100.
Would you buy a... Go ahead.
Well, my friend Bennett and his dad worked in they worked at dealerships a lot, and they worked with cars. And I don't remember what Bennett was doing at the time. Bennett's done like everything under the sun.
Okay.
He even had his own business called Bennett Industries, which was really like he would do anything. Yeah, I even worked for Bennett Industries. I had a check for him.
What'd you do?
I don't remember. I think one time we did something with landscaping or something.
Okay, so it was an actual job.
Yeah.
So you did an actual job.
Yeah. We would do like landscaping, or we would move stuff, or we would all sorts of random odd jobs, right? Yeah. And he just called it Bennett Industries.
I like
which is
it.
Hilarious. Yeah. So a lot of us bring it up all the time.
Yeah.
So we buy this car, buy it for $100. We find a license plate for it.
Okay.
We'll say that.
So to incriminate yourself.
Yeah, we acquired one. This is a long time ago. We were young, so so we acquired a license plate for it. Somehow this car, we had to like drive. Somebody drove. I think Bennett drove behind our friend Ryan, and he drove the car, I believe. And it was like a 30-minute drive back to Bennett's house.
Yeah.
So get the car back. We decide what we wanted to happen is we wanted to drive this car around Bennett's backyard while we were all partying.
Yeah.
And drinking and stuff. So people would line up we even built a bar on the back of his house. So his dad comes home and is like, why the fuck is there a bar in my house? So we have a bar on the back deck. Yeah. And like, so everybody's drinking out there, and like everybody's like standing on the deck and can see down into the backyard. And then we would be driving the car around and just just like four-wheeling it. It's a car for $100. So it sounds like shit. Yeah. It's running and stuff.
The fact that it's running is impressive.
Yes. It ended up stop running, but so Ben and I are in the car. He's driving. We're up to like 25 miles an hour. We're coming up to one of the little hills. So we're going to ramp this hill.
Of course.
Yeah, as best we can, but it's hard to go fast on 25 because when you start skidding, you don't have the torque for the mud and the grass and stuff like that, and it doesn't have the tires for it. So we go to do this, and I'm like, we better hold on because we're going to hopefully go airborne. So like trying to get up to like 40 or so. Okay. So we're like 25, 30, 35 maybe at max. So we go hit this hill. Everybody's watching and stuff. And it's not like you would think, like you would ramp. We just went and just
smashed right into it. Yeah.
Dude, I thought my brain came out of my head because like we're not even like buckled in or anything. We're just like, it's like I'm like, oh my god, and we're just like sitting there, and then everybody you could hear like audibly everybody go, oh, it was terrible. We ended up like cutting the top off of the car, and then dragging it behind Bob's Jeep. Yeah, and then there was a huge party. This was on a Sunday morning. There's like a huge, I don't know if it was people after church or whatever. So it was like a huge barbecue, and we just passed the barbecue, and then we just untie the car and just leave it in the next yard. Over. So the barbecue people are just like looking at us like, why are you leaving a car in our neighbor's yard? Yeah, and then we just drove off
into the sunset.
Yep. So I grew up in Maryland.
Yeah. I was going to say, so what I'm learning from this is Dan grew up in Maryland. Yeah. All right. Moral of the story, folks. Dan, Maryland native.
It's
and
boring,
also, Dan totally never did anything illegal with a license plate.
No.
That's what we learned today.
No, you got one. It just
magically appeared. It was crazy in Maryland.
It was pretty cool. Yeah,
because that's where you grew up. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Place of license plates.
The place of license, the state of license plates.
Say hi to Giules.
Hey, Giules.
Hi, Giules.
Is she watching right now?
Well, she was.
She was. Oh, that's cool. Throw us another question there, Mike. Do frogs have ears? Mike did say it was going to be a ridiculous one today. I mean, don't they have like little holes in the
Before,
side?
are you like? There's two questions that I want to ask you first on the back of this, like sub questions.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
go on.
Are you a frog person or are you a toad person?
I don't think I'm an either person. I don't really care for like. I think both are cool, but like I don't think there's like one over the other for me though. I haven't thought about it.
I feel like
ever.
more people pick frogs over toads all the time.
Frogs are pretty sweet, but like I don't know, toads are cool too. I feel I've experienced more toads, but frogs I'll see, like real cool frogs. I'll see at like the zoo or stuff, or like when I go
Like the
outside
dart
the
frogs
country
and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. But
Yeah.
I have more toad experience as well.
Yeah.
I would say. All right, so then the next one would be like turtles or tortoises. Tortoise.
Oh, so we're really
Tortoises?
jumping off. Okay. I'm definitely I would say more of a tortoise person.
More of a tortoise person. See, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm glad to hear that because I feel like I was thinking about it and I was like, are there any toad or are there any tortoise people, over turtles or frogs? And that worried me.
Yeah.
But you've kind of allayed some of those worries.
Okay. Cool. Happy to help.
Ears, do they have
Do they
ears?
have ears though? I don't know, man. That's the thing is this is just a zoology question that I just do not have an answer to. Is like, can they hear? I don't know.
Can't they like,
Because don't they have little holes? on the
aren't
side
frogs
there?
like asexual? Can't they like,
I don't think so.
I think some of them are. Wasn't that the whole
they?
theme behind Jurassic Park? Mike, do you remember that?
I thought Jurassic Park was about extracting DNA from a fossilized mosquito.
Yeah, but then wasn't there something because all of the dinosaurs were a certain gender and they all had a trait of some frogs, and then
I have no
raptors were like birthing other raptors that they couldn't keep track of or something?
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me if there was like one species of frogs that had like that capability or something.
Mike, look up frogs in Jurassic
But I
Park.
say we're just not. This is just showing me how much I don't know about frogs. Like I feel like this question is just
Frogs do not have external ears like us.
okay.
However, they do have eardrums and an inner ear.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, but that's not important. But what is I thank you for looking that up though, Mike. But look up frogs in Jurassic Park. That's what we
right.
really got to find out.
While you're looking for that, could you switch over to the other question, just so that we're not sitting here waiting for the answer? Because I don't really have. I don't know. Do you have anything more to say about frogs? Oh, actually, wait. You didn't answer your own questions.
What are my own questions?
Were the frogs or toads?
Unfortunately, I feel like I'm more of a frog person.
Okay.
And then I'm more of a turtle person. I love turtles.
Like just turtles.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate a good tortoise any day. Jack and I saw some at the zoo, and they like came up to us, and it was a pretty cool part of the zoo at one point.
I think I've seen one in Hawaii, maybe. Was it? I don't know.
I saw a snapping turtle.
I've never actually seen a
Dude, I
snapping
saw one
turtle
in
real life,
Sykesville.
man.
So
Yeah, I've heard they're around here. That's
yeah,
cool.
there was a big ass one that I
Yeah?
almost stepped by.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who I was with, but like we're like going through you know in Sykesville, by Sykesville Station, that bridge. Mm-hmm. All right, so there's obviously like a kind of like creek, river, whatever it is.
Something that the bridge goes over. Yeah.
So we used Jack and I used to like go be all over that river. I used to like go down there with friends, and we would just like sit on rocks and drink and stuff like that in the summertime. It was awesome. One of the times we're like going through there, and I just missed stepping on the snapping turtle, and it was like this big. It was
Dang.
huge. Yeah, and I've never even
boulder.
seen it.
So they do get that big. I've heard that they do get pretty big.
Yeah.
That's sizable, man.
Yeah, and
That's
it just they're angry looking.
I don't know. Is a snapping? So a snapping turtle is obviously a turtle,
Yeah,
not a tortoise.
yeah. I think turtles are more amphibious, and are tortoise reptiles, and not. And same thing with toads and frogs. Like frogs are reptiles, or frogs are amphibians, and toads are reptiles.
I don't know. Once again, further proving how little I know about zoology. Yeah, this is just not my subject. If we were at a trivia night, this would be a bad one for
Harry Potter or
team.
Warhammer.
Let me answer your
Newgirl.
question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Using a frog was a plot device to allow some females to change sex and breed. That's all.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is big part of Jurassic Park.
I haven't seen Jurassic Park in a long time.
Well, because I think that the raptors like did that, and then that was like a big part of like them being very dangerous because there was ones they couldn't track or something like that, or like the females were more angry or something.
It's been
Just
a long.
like
It's been a
humans.
while, man.
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
that was
Just kidding.
good.
I'm just
That's
kidding.
good.
Everybody.
That's
I'm
good.
just kidding.
Okay. Hit us with the other question.
Yeah, hit us.
Do you? Ooh, I like this one.
I believe in the Yahoo.
The what? So it's the question is, do you believe in Bigfoot? The Yahoo, is that what you said?
Yahoo.
The Yahoo?
Yeah, you still haven't seen it?
Nah. Nah. I'm
So
no idea what you're talking about.
there's a show called Mike, what is the show called? We have a lot of questions for Mike. Is it Mountain Men, Mountain Hunters, Monster Hunters, but not Monster Hunters because I think that's a different show. Well, whatever it is, there's these guys in West Virginia. They go and they try to like hunt things that people have seen. So like fictional, maybe like mythical.
Are you sure that's not Monster Hunters?
It might be Monster Hunters.
Because Monster Hunters is a real thing, and I've seen that show.
Yeah, but it might be different. It might be a different one that I'm thinking.
Okay.
Of. So
All right, maybe.
Monster Hunters is definitely a show.
Yeah.
I just don't know if this is the one that I'm thinking of. And it's all these
Sounds
guys
like
from
it.
West Virginia, and they're kind of not like the most in shape guys. So it's like some were like 300 pounds and like going through.
Oh,
It's
yes.
amazing.
Wait, I have seen this. You've
Wait.
shown me.
Yeah, where they're looking
Yeah.
for the
where-
Yahoo.
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite
They're in the
things.
woods and
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what that reminds me of. You know, there's a myth of the Sykesville monster.
No, I would love that though.
It was a whole big
It's a
thing.
real towny thing for you guys to have a monster myth.
I didn't even. I heard somebody say something about it, but I didn't know it was like a big deal until the other day because
Okay.
it came up for some reason. But do you believe in Bigfoot?
No, I don't.
Not any version of Bigfoot.
No, I don't.
Where do you think it came from?
Just like a lot of things come from, man. People like, where did dragons come from?
I think somebody just
I think
saw
people's
Bob in his
heads are-
backyard.
Yeah, I think
That's probably what
to
happened.
be quite honest with you, man, I think that there's a lot of, people seeing things that they're mistaking for Bigfoot or have initially mistaken for Bigfoot, but like I don't think there's an actual Bigfoot.
Yeah, I mean, you could just
Which
be
is
like,
like
a
a-
big, hairy, homeless guy in the woods.
Yeah, or
you're
just
like-
I'm trying to imagine because like what to define this question, you have to define Bigfoot itself, and so Bigfoot himself is like its own creature that's like a human, almost like Chewbacca-like thing, right?
So you're saying for it to be Bigfoot, like how big do you think it would have to be?
I think you'd
to
have
satisfy
to like at
you.
least 10 feet.
Shit.
Yeah, 10 feet, like as muscular as like a gorilla ape type shit, and then just fucking Chewbacca looking hair wise.
Yeah, that would be different than a human.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's no mistaking that. That'd be
No.
that would be a monster.
yeah,
You don't believe that ever existed?
no. Well, I mean, ever existed? I can't prove that, but I don't think.
Well, I'm not asking you to prove anything.
Well,
That's the nice
clearly
thing.
I can't prove anything about this.
Well,
But
certainly
no, I
nothing
don't.
about frogs.
Yeah, I was. I know.
You didn't even know about
nothing
Jurassic
about
Park,
frogs.
and that's like Frog 101. So
I really messed up there, man. Sorry about that,
that's
dude.
all it's like learning your food items in Spanish.
But yes, the whole Bigfoot myth. I don't know, man. It's just like a lot of myths out there. They just
What
kind of.
about Loch Ness monster? What was Loch Ness? I almost said Chuffy. What was Nessie?
Nessie.
Right? Isn't that what they call Loch Ness monster?
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the Loch Ness monster exists either. I mean, I feel like let's be honest, if the Loch Ness monster existed or Bigfoot existed, I feel like there's a pretty freaking good chance we would have found it already. Or
Is
like,
there though?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe Bigfoot. So Bigfoot, I feel like we would have found something.
But the Loch Ness monster is like essentially a giant dinosaur in a lake.
Yeah, but that's the
In
problem
Loch
is it's
Ness.
in water, so like you could.
Go into the water, man. There's technology.
There is, but we don't. I don't feel like we have a great understanding of like really deep water.
Yeah, we do. For sure we do,
Some,
man.
but we don't we haven't what have we explored? Like we've explored. We've explored like 2% of the ocean.
I mean, there's a lot of ocean.
Right.
There's a lot of, but this is like a
It's a lot of lakes,
singular
too.
body of water it's not the deepest lake in the world either.
Well, which
Right?
lake
It's
is
finite.
And
Isn't
does it have
Loch
it?
Ness? It's Loch Ness, right? Yeah. I was gonna say.
Frog 101. Well, I guess I'm not equipped to talk about the Loch Ness monster. But does it have an outlet into the sea?
I don't think so.
Where is Loch Ness? Is it in like Ireland? Is it England? Mike?
I want to say
you don't know
Ireland.
shit
I
about
want to
these
say.
subjects.
I really want to say Ireland or Scotland, but I can't remember which one. I want to say Scotland.
Well, if it has an
It's
avenue,
Scotland, right, Mike? He's looking it up right now.
I think you're right.
I can hear him typing.
I would say
We're sounding really smart on this podcast.
Very
I just
smart.
Want, yeah, I just want.
It's in the Scottish Highlands.
Yes.
is
Cool.
there
Thanks,
is
man.
there a way into the ocean?
Shouldn't be.
Why would you say shouldn't be?
Because I thought the whole point was that it was like a specified body of water that had no.
Well, if that
attachments.
is, then they would have found something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would
It's
agree
like
with that.
I'm
But if
pretty
there
sure
is an avenue into the sea,
if there's an avenue to the sea, then there's more credibility to this.
yeah.
But if there's not, which I'm pretty sure there's not supposed to be, at least from my understanding, then there's no possible way they haven't seen a giant dinosaur. Finally.
All right. Well, here's my next question: do you believe in any kind of sea monsters?
Okay, I believe that there's some crazy ass shit in the
Define
ocean.
crazy ass shit.
Like, dude, some of those actual things like giant squids.
Yeah,
like,
they
there was
did
a
find out that was true.
Dude, there's
Yeah.
a giant squid in Puget Sound, like in the Puget Sound area, like right next to the city of Seattle. Like a giant ass squid. We're talking like 50 feet long or something crazy like that.
Well, what else do you think is that big besides squids? Do you
I
think
mean, there's got to
anything
be
else?
some wild, like shark fish type things.
The
You know,
ocean's
like
a scary
old,
place.
like ancient ass.
Are you scared of sharks?
Nah,
No,
Not
they don't worry you.
nah,
They freak me out.
really?
Yeah, because like even more than like tigers, I feel like. Although to be fair, I haven't been walking around the jungle thinking about tigers, but I feel like
Yeah,
I definitely can't defeat a tiger yet, 1-on-1.
one day.
But I feel like if a tiger were to have a chance to attack, I have at least all my facilities. Where when I'm in the water, not only can I see anything,
Yeah.
but then I also have like I'm at like easily half strength, quarters. Like you're just in the water. It's not meant to. I don't have like gills or flappers.
I just feel like
flappers.
there's so few times that I would probably be put in a position where I'm worried about getting attacked by a shark. Right? There's been so few times in my life where I've had that come up. There's
it
been a
come
few
up?
times. Yeah. There's been like not actually like close to happening,
Yeah.
but there's been like, times in my life where I've been swimming in places where the sharks are, like not too far away.
I have two that really freaked me out.
I've seen a barracuda close.
Yes, they're scary as shit.
Yeah, I saw a barracuda when I was scuba diving 50 feet underneath.
Damn.
Saw him and I was just like, that motherfucker was glaring at me.
How big was it?
I can't even begin to tell you that one. I was not about to start swimming closer to it.
I
I turned quick from that barracuda.
Yeah, I have no. I didn't even get a chance to turn from the barracuda because it turned away from us, but then it followed our boat around.
Mm-hmm.
We took a boat. This is really stupid. So, unlike anything else that I've done.
No.
No. So one time we went to Key West because my friend was in the military, so he could get cheap rent down there,
Yeah.
and then he could also get boats for cheap off the naval base and stuff. So he got his boating license that morning, and then got us a boat. And we took this boat as fast as we could go, 45 minutes away from shore. So we're out in the middle of the ocean where you can't even see land. Like
Yeah.
nothing. I had never been out to where you can't see land. So it was weird. It was cool, but it's also like, this doesn't seem super smart because we're like drinking and stuff. So then we tried to anchor ourselves to a buoy or something,
Yeah.
which didn't work so great. So then we get out and we start, what's not scuba diving, but the one with
Snorkeling.
thank you.
Yeah.
So we're snorkeling, we jump in the water, we're like swimming around. It looks like National Geographic down there, like crazy. There's a huge,
Dude, Key West is cool.
it's
Key West is
wild
pretty cool.
and it's beautiful. So like there was like this huge, rift, like chasm that went down. You couldn't see the bottom.
Oh, yeah?
It looked like, and the water was so clear, so you felt
Yeah.
like you could see forever. But then you would look down, and you would see like all the coral going down, and then it was just blackness. So it was just nuts because then you're like swimming, and there's schools of fish, and you could hear them coming at you. So like there's fish everywhere,
Yeah.
which was also again super cool, but also kind of terrifying
Yeah.
because you'd look down and you just could see just forever, but then you didn't know what would come up from there, and then fish would hit you in the face. So like these fish, I remember these yellow and blue fish were coming, and it was like and then be like, and then like hit you, and you're like, oh, what happens if someone comes to eat these? Like, why I'm in the middle of these things?
Yeah.
I don't know. You just have all these thoughts, and then we're like swimming along, and we're coming up one of the like sides of the chasm, so it's getting pretty shallow. And my friend just starts making all these bubbles and noise. So I look up, and probably like 10 feet from us or so, maybe not even, was like a 6-foot long barracuda.
Damn.
Sideways. And it's just like looking out of his side eye. And it's got the big teeth. And nothing you could do. You just froze.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it turned and it was gone. Like they are so fast. It was crazy to me. And then you're like thinking about like any glistening jewelry or anything that you might have, which I don't wear any, but I was like checking, and then my friend Jeff had some on, so then we got out of the water.
Yeah.
And it came back and like started circling our boat and stuff.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
That's intimidating. Yeah. I was pretty far out. Like I saw it, it looked at me, and I always like to joke that it like glared at me.
It looks like it does.
It looks like, yeah, I was about to say, I was in Aruba when this happened. So I was somewhere, I don't know, off the coast is,
Off your dad's yacht?
No. This was actually with my uncle. And yeah, so I was like, oh God, how old was I? I think I was 14. But yeah, so I went down. It was pretty cool. It was the only time I've actually not true. I've scuba dived, technically twice, but once was in Key Largo really briefly. And it was just kind of like, I just went down underneath with my uncle. Like it was nothing crazy. It was in one of the canals. So
It's
like,
pretty cool though.
I mean, it was fun.
I've never been scuba diving.
It's an interesting experience. But yeah, the one when I was in Aruba was actually like really cool. It was one of those unreal experiences when you're just like floating around, and you just get a whole different appreciation for water when you're so far in it.
And like
right?
the bigness of it.
Yeah.
Which
dude,
I know is a weird
vastness of-
word, but it's
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it feels like. Everything is just way bigger than you ever thought.
Yeah. Man, this is giving me a little bit of a travel bug right now thinking about this. And this is making me really want to we should actually start planning that trip to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And, like,
Mad Lab to Puerto Rico.
Well, I'll say Mad Lab to Puerto Rico. Because I think it'd be pretty fun to go and
we need a dominant
explore
next 2
around
months, and then
yeah,
for sure.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a pretty surreal experience too. And I think, yeah, like you said, like just fish all around you too. And you're just like just sitting there, and you just kind of feel almost like you're like, damn, I'm like chilling in their ecosystem. And they're just like, what the hell are you doing here, man?
Like you're
I'm about to say, like,
you're
invading
there.
Yeah, you don't belong at
It's
all.
very weird.
But at the same time, you kind of feel at one with everything. Everything's a lot more still down there.
I couldn't relax.
Yeah.
I wanted to, and I usually am like a person that can do that, but I couldn't.
It's not even snorkeling. You couldn't relax.
I could somewhat appreciate it, and I'm glad that I did it. But I was like, I was freaked out that we were out that far, and the friends that I was with, I love them, but sometimes they don't think. Not that I think of consequences all the time, but like they definitely don't.
Okay.
And so like on the way there, like as we're going, my friend Jeff like looks and sees like was a pod of dolphins, and so they're swimming next to us. Really cool, right?
Yeah.
So
that's
Jeff
really cool.
just like gets on the side of the boat and just jumps like almost onto them.
Yeah.
Which is super dangerous.
Have you touched dolphins before? Have you swam with dolphins before?
I've never swam with dolphins.
Dude, what I'm like starting to understand, like fully appreciate how privileged I was as a kid. Cause like I'm starting to like the more and more I talk about some of the stuff that that West Coast shit. The more and more stuff I talk about and think about, I'm like, right, I've swam with dolphins before. I've like actually like touched and like hung out in like a body of water with dolphins.
That's pretty sick.
It was pretty sweet. They're
cool animals.
Fucking awesome animals.
But you also shouldn't just jump onto a pod because they can also be
that's
very
like,
dangerous.
I was gonna say it's like that's
and
incredibly.
if they're mating, they will kill you.
Yeah.
And so, but
Wait, they'll kill you?
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah. People have
it doesn't
dolphins
necessarily
have killed
surprise
people.
me.
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me.
now I mean, it's rare, but like if it's in mating and you're in the way,
Yeah, if you jumped on the back of a dolphin,
there's a lot of hormones going on, and dolphins
just a
are trying to
wild
do their
ass
shit.
dolphin.
Yeah,
I was with a trained dolphin.
yeah, that's different.
Yeah, it's way different
because they swim like 50 miles an hour, and if they hit you with that snout, they kill sharks that way. So
I did not know that. That is
they
cool.
will fuck you up.
They
It is
spear
super
sharks.
Cool. Yeah,
That's pretty sweet.
that's why like if you know if dolphins aren't like mating or whatever, if you're like swimming with them, you're in a pretty good place because sharks don't mess with dolphins.
Interesting.
Because dolphins will just straight up kill sharks.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Dude, Key West is a really sweet spot.
It is.
I've like thinking about it more and more now, and like just the Keys, the Florida Keys in general. I've been to the Keys like a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times. I want to say 2 or 3 times, but like I love it there, man. It's such a cool
Everybody's
spot.
super chill too.
Yeah. Some of the best food I've ever had, especially fish. Like straight up the best fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's delicious.
I love seafood too.
I'm a big seafood fan.
Yeah.
I love seafood. I feel like we come from places with good seafood though.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
Like Maryland's got great seafood. Washington has pretty good seafood. Like
What are you
I'm
guys
used to
like
good seafood.
famous for?
Salmon.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. We have really good salmon in Washington.
I love salmon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's beautiful, dude. You'd love Washington. Like
probably
exploring
would.
out in like just the like anywhere outside of like the city, really. You just get out and it's just like rolling hills of evergreen
the
trees.
hiking's gotta be pretty sick,
It's amazing in Washington.
man.
Yeah, and people always go to the same like 2 or 3 places, but like that's their first mistake. Is like you gotta go like outside of the average. Like
So you gotta
typical
go
ones.
and talk to somebody that lives there,
Yeah,
and then go
explore.
long pause.
Hey,
where do I go now?
well, that's what we do in Seattle. Is we put huge
That's
pauses
why
in between. Yeah.
Well, that's why I want. If I said that, I knew that they would understand and be like, "This guy's on the level. He's a tourist, but
Let's say this guy knows our
Yeah.
style. Yeah.
let's give him the spots."
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But really, there's so many like nature heads in Seattle, like people who just constantly go out and climb. They're moving around. They're like just going to mountains all the time. Like you talk to one of them and ask where the best places are to go, you'll find some good places. One of the best places I've ever been, one of my favorite spots is and this is kind of, I would say it's relatively popular, like most people from Washington would know it, is Bridal Veil Falls. It's a pretty standard hike. Like the hike itself it's okay. It's not too bad. It's like 7.5 miles. It's a good one. But you get to the top and it's surreal. There is a lake at the top, and there's a falls that you can go to. There's the actual falls that you can go to, and then you can continue up from there.
Is it busy?
And then the falls and all that is busy. Yeah, especially during the summer. Not as busy as some of the other really touristy spots.
Yeah.
Like Rattlesnake Ridge, for instance, is like one of the really popular ones. Like so popular to the point that during the summer it's like a Disney ride where you're like,
shit.
you're like with people like trying to like,
F that.
you know, stuff like that. But Bridal Veil Falls, like you get especially to the top, and if you go during the winter or like early spring, it's even better because there's mountains all around, right? And so you see the lake is just completely crisp, reflective. And then you have the mountains with snow-capped mountains around it. And you just get up there and you're just like, am I in the same like place that I was like 5 seconds ago? Like are you
different
sure?
planet.
It feels like you get transported. Like you're going through Narnia.
Damn.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. The state it's a really, Oregon and Washington are very
Thomas
beautiful
pops
states.
out.
What's up?
Was Mr. Thomas Mr. Thomas, was that like the satyr?
I have no
Is that what he
idea.
was?
Yeah.
Did you watch
Have I read
The
or
Lion-
watched
whatever in
The
the
Lion, Witch, and the
Wardrobe?
Wardrobe?
Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe? Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I just can't remember much. Like, I'm not a huge Chronicles of Narnia guy.
Not big Chronicles of Narnia.
No.
Not big on frogs.
Not big on frogs.
Big
I mean, I
Foot.
think frogs are cool. I would prefer frogs to Chronicles
Big Loch
of
Ness
Narnia.
guy though.
Not really. Just a lot of guessing there.
I don't know. I feel like you knew a lot about it. So
Probably. There's a lot of people who probably know a lot more.
hey,
Put it
let's
that
give
way.
yourself some credit here.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah,
You know, you're not the
appreciate
frog
you.
man, but you're you're
Dude, frogs are cool
Nessie
though,
lover.
dude. Frogs are awesome. Like, I feel like a trip that I really want to take.
Well, time out.
Yeah.
So you have now all of a sudden you have a lot of enthusiasm about frogs. So are you more of a frog person than over?
I mean, but that's the thing is that like I feel like I'd want to see them in their natural habitat.
talk to me about toads.
I mean, they're toads.
Yeah, you're a frog person.
Okay, I'm a frog
Yeah.
person, I guess.
Alright,
Yeah,
that's
but like, they're toads are cool because like you see them like just walking around, man. Like
That's
like,
what they're doing. Just
they're
walking.
just you're just walking around Frederick, and you're just like, oh, there's a freaking big ass toad hopping around,
yeah.
right? And it's just it's neat, right? It's just fun to watch them. But like frogs are more exotic, right? Because you don't
Dynamic.
have. Well, exotic is literally the word that I was looking for. Because we don't have them in our natural habitat. So, like, you'd have to go to, I mean, it would be sick as hell to
We
like,
have
go into the
frogs.
jungle. I guess you guys have tree frogs here, huh?
We have a bunch of kinds of frogs, I think.
Yeah, you probably do. I just
How
never
many
see. I
frogs
never see frogs.
are,
That's a very dumb statement. I retract the statement of this.
Yeah. How many frogs? How many species of frogs we got, Mike?
It's a different type of frog, though. You know
Let's
what I'm
impress
talking about.
this West Coast
I
fool.
want jungle frogs. I want cool jungle frogs that may or may not be poisonous.
Now I'm not even confident now that even know if we have some. I think I could show you a frog from Maryland and be like, this one's from Brazil.
and
you'd
I'd be like,
"Fuck
whoa.
yeah, dude." Yeah.
You probably could.
Maybe.
I mean, I've
Unless
lived
Mike
in
goes, there's 0 species in Maryland, in which I feel dumb.
I've lived in Maryland for like a year, almost a year and a half now, and I feel like I still don't know the state very well. Like I still haven't gotten like a good like feel for
10.
it's 10 different
10
okay.
different kinds of frogs.
All right. Well, either way,
And I bet we got a poisonous bastard in there somewhere.
maybe do you? I feel like they would have
probably
heard
evolved
if
just because of traffic and how busy Maryland is to become poisonous, just like many of the people here.
I was
Maryland.
good Maryland joke, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, I feel like there's still a lot to learn about this state. Like I was talking earlier about how I haven't been to Ocean City or
Mike and I Mike and I can enlighten you on Ocean City.
right. But I also like
Featuring
Deep Creek.
Logan.
Like I haven't been to Deep Creek either. Like I haven't been to a lot of the Maryland landmarks yet.
Yeah.
So I'll get out there at some point. Like I'm not worried about it, but
I will say Maryland does have like a lot of really different places
Yeah.
in it. For
What
as
I-
small as the state is.
what I really want to do this upcoming summer is like my favorite thing to do during the summer is like, and this is what I did back in especially at the beginning of the pandemic, just because I had so much free time, is just like exploring as much nature as possible. Like
Yeah.
like even if I'm going to a hike or not, like just driving around and finding spots to just wander.
Yeah.
It's fun, man. Like I just wandered like
That
all
is
of
literally
northern
my
Oregon.
favorite thing to do. Like
We'll explore together.
Yeah. Yeah. I get a box of wine and then I go
See, I didn't do that part.
wherever.
Yeah.
And especially places that have water.
Yeah.
And then you intermittently just like sit somewhere, chill out,
Yeah.
possibly listen to music, possibly not, and then go to another spot. Move.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Dude,
That's
so
the key.
back in June 2020, I like just went down. So the Columbia River separates Washington and Oregon.
Yeah.
Right. And so I just went
Isn't that part of the? Don't you go on that river in the Oregon Trail?
in the game.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm assuming so.
Not a big Oregon Trail guy.
I didn't really play it.
God damn it.
I mean, it was a little bit before my time, dude. It was just a little bit before my time.
Oregon Trail.
Actually, that's not true. I think it was around my time, but I just never ended up playing it that much.
I feel like you haven't really had like a childhood or like a big like child to adult moment until you're taking a bunch of people in one of those wagons and everybody gets dysentery.
It's just,
You know?
all I know is the jokes about Oregon Trail. That's like all I know is the dysentery jokes and like just stuff like that.
That is
That's
a
all I
big
know
one.
about it. I haven't actually played it.
And you name your guys too.
Yeah?
So then you get attached to them.
Do you really?
Yeah. And then you're like, Bobby Sue dies of dysentery. And you're like, no.
No, not Bobby
And then you
Sue.
have to take like a break from the game because you're
Yeah.
upset. It's
I'm
a lot.
sorry.
It's a lot, man.
Dude, I feel like, so I'm just going to say this now. I feel like we should plan some adventures. I mean, I know we're busy and we're trying to do a lot of other stuff, but we should plan some small Maryland adventures.
I
Or like just
agree.
like even like day trips or like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Soon. Like I feel like we don't need to wait until summer.
We
I feel
don't.
like- yeah, it's like it's getting to the point where like spring here is also much nicer.
Yeah. But you can also like, I hate the cold, but I only hate the cold because I hate going from like the car to work and like doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if I know I'm going hiking, then you can just wear like 2 pairs of pants.
Layers.
You can we can wear all sorts of stuff and not be cold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sorry.
Yeah,
continue
for sure.
What you're saying.
I guess I kind of got lost in what I was saying because of the Oregon Trail thing, but right. So I was just going down the Columbia, and I was just driving, you know, like down the state of Oregon across it, right? And just like going to like different spots, like hiking up different spots. One time, one spot I just started hiking, and this is just kind of how I am when it comes to hiking. This is how I like to go. Is like I did not actually read any of the map stuff. I literally just went. I got on the trail and I just started walking. And after about 3
That's how horror
hours,
movies start.
What's up?
That's how horror movies start.
Well, it was early enough in the day.
I just saw one
way
that just went
way
like that, and
before
they went off the trail, and then there's like these lost civilization of people like started murdering everybody with traps and stuff.
That's
And then they took
aggressive.
them into
Yeah, nothing like
civilization.
that happened to
Some
me.
people got their eyes scooped out, so be careful.
This is making my story sound much less consequential, because honestly all that happened was after about 3 hours I just realized I was really hungry, and I'm like, I have still no idea where I'm going, so I turned around and went back. But I was just adventuring forever, man. I just had like some snack bars with me, and that was it. So I had to get some
Your hunger
food
saved
in
you.
I think I was in Rogue. I want to say I was in Rogue River.
That's
Oregon
another thing.
at
You
this
gotta
point.
bring snacks.
Yeah, you gotta always have your snacks.
Yeah.
But this
Nature
is cool.
snacks.
Yeah, nature. Well, exactly. I had meat sticks.
Yeah.
But like the natty meat sticks.
Natty Light meat sticks.
No, like
right?
natural
It's like
meat sticks.
natural light
not
meat
just like Slim Jims, like the.
I know what
yeah,
you're saying.
like bison stuff, like stuff Joe Rogan would be a fan of.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's listening, so he probably,
I'm hoping
he'll
will.
probably comment.
Yeah, I was about to say, just get us on Spotify. Get us paid by Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. I want people saying they don't belong here and us getting hundreds of millions of dollars.
So, yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was a good time. Like it's fun to adventure. Ever since I came out here though, I've been to some good hikes, but I definitely want to get out and about a little bit more if possible. Yeah, a trip that I thought about doing, and I kind of want to make happen. This is something that might be like a year or two from now, but I honestly want to do like a good portion of the Appalachian Trail, like an actual backpacking
We
trip.
talked about this, didn't we? Did we? I'm making this memory up.
This is because this was before I was even working at Mad
This is
Lab.
before I was 4, maybe, possibly. I do think we did talk about this though.
Did we?
Yeah.
Because I thought I'm pretty
not on
sure.
the podcast. I think we talked about this.
No,
at some point in the space or something like that.
Yeah, because I remember.
Or maybe when we were drinking. Who knows?
I thought I came up with this idea before I started working for Mad Lab, but basically I want to do like the Georgia portion, and like some of the Tennessee portion of the Appalachian, and I was looking it up, and it's actually not that bad.
That would be pretty slick.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty cool one. It's like the trip itself isn't too aggressive. Like you take like 10 days to do it. Like the portion that I was looking at doing, you just, backpack yourself through, and seems like a good time, man. Like I've never really backpacked like that before.
Yeah.
And I feel like just fuck it. Let's give it a shot, man.
I'm in.
Cool. All right.
Perfect.
We got some plans. So let's go ahead and get to the next question, because I forgot what the first question was. Yeah, exactly. Do you play a musical instrument, Dan? Do you play a musical instrument?
That's one of my. That actually, I don't even know if I brought that up. Did I say that was my regret as a kid?
Nah.
I would say I even told Jack this.
Yeah.
Because Jack plays the trombone.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Actually, when he was practicing on Tuesday, I was like, dude, it sounds completely different. And he just got moved up because he's the only trombone.
Yeah.
So he got moved up to like the advanced or whatever.
Nice.
And then he wanted to quit because he's like, I'm not good. I'm like, well, they obviously think you're good if they moved you to advanced.
Yeah.
So but I told him, like, I wish that I would have been pushed to play like some kind of instrument. He actually really wants to play the drums.
Which
You played.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I didn't
Speaking
play
of which, I played the drums. Yeah.
How did you get into the drums?
Dude, I got into the drums from.
Let me guess.
Oh, what? Yeah, go ahead.
So, all right, let me set the stage for you.
Sure, go ahead, man.
All right, so on one of your like yacht vacations to
Yacht
Aruba,
vacations.
yeah, like you're messing around on the deck, and you come across this drum set, only a couple days old,
Of course.
and you just start playing.
Yep.
And then one of your dad's friends happens to be a drum instructor and just starts teaching you.
Yeah.
So
That's
I think
the polar opposite of what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, what started me off on the drums was so I knew I wanted to play the drums when I was a baby, like a toddler. I don't remember this, but my mom tells me about this. Like I would take like pots and pans and I would like set them up and I would like start using.
I think every toddler does that too.
Yeah, but she apparently was like, this kid loves the drums. And so
that's pretty silly.
At one point she bought me a snare drum and eventually she got me a kind of a used actual drum set later on. But I had a bell set and a snare drum and I started playing when I was 7, like officially playing when I was 7 for my elementary school band. And so I started doing lessons when I was 7 and I didn't stop doing lessons or some type of drum stuff until I was 18.
Damn.
So yeah, so I had like a lot of formal like lessons, training.
Would you start
stuff.
somebody like that too? Like on a snare drum?
Yeah, it was good. It was good because we had like I was just doing base level stuff, and then we had the bell. I had the bells too that I was doing. It was off of these 2 books, and we got them from this music shop called Kennelly Keys.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if those things still exist, but for all you musicians out there, especially on the West Coast, you'd probably know what I'm talking about.
That you're talking directly to the West Coast.
Yeah, directly to the West Coast. My coast, my favorite coast. No offense, East Coast.
We'll change your idea.
Fair enough.
We probably won't.
We'll see.
We'll probably change our idea. No offense, East Coast.
We'll all end up on the West Coast. That's what'll happen. But yeah, man, I started playing when I was 7, and I mean, as I said, I stopped when I was 18. But by the time I was 18, I was I got really into playing drum set. Drum set was my definitely preferred method of playing drums.
What's drum set?
Just the whole drum set.
Oh, shit,
right.
Okay.
Rather than just
what is included in a drum set?
So it depends, man. It completely depends. You can make a drum set is just like a multitude of parts, like a bass drum, a snare drum, hi-hat, some cymbals, maybe some toms, depending on what you're looking for, right?
What would you do?
So rest in peace, my baby. I mean, I sold my drum set, so I shouldn't say rest in peace. I sold my drum set. So.
I'm sure it wasn't sacrificed on an altar.
No. But I miss her so much. She's beautiful. So I had a small little jazz kit that had and this means nothing to you, but I had 18-inch bass, which is pretty small.
Okay.
Typically they're about 20-inch or 22.
Yeah, I always say 20-inch is nothing less when I'm talking about my bass drums.
Of course. Yeah. I also back in my mom's basement, I still have a drum set of I think it's like a 6-piece. So every drum set is like 6-piece, 2-piece, 3-piece, stuff like that, right? So it's the amount of toms and like extra stuff that has.
What's a tom?
A tom is the actual so you have the snare, like the actual snare sound, like what you're used to hearing for a drum roll.
All right.
Right. And then when you hear the non-staticky, non-snare sounding part of what they're hitting, right? That's a tom.
Okay.
Right. And a bass drum, obviously.
Is a tom on top?
Yeah. The toms are the ones on top. And well, they can be on the ground too, right?
Okay.
So you got floor toms, you got, rack toms, stuff like that.
Rack toms. Wait.
Yeah.
All right. So you're constructing a drum set.
Okay.
No cost is involved.
Yeah.
They're just like, Aleka, we need you to play a show. Anything that you want to do.
Yeah.
Here's a drum set.
What would I have?
Yeah. What would you have?
Really simple, man. The one that what I had was what I wanted. I bought all of this stuff myself.
Sweet.
Put a lot of money into that shit. It was like $5,000 total.
God damn.
Yeah.
Why does Jack want to play drums?
What's up?
He's got to play a cheaper instrument here.
Well, it's also nice stuff. I like really nice stuff. But drums are expensive, man. I had some expensive hobbies when I was younger. But I actually spent that money for my drum set, the one that's still in my mom's basement and stuff like that. That was my money. I used my paper route money to buy it.
So if I wanted to start Jack on a drum, I should get him a snare drum.
Yes, for sure. But even those are still they might cost you anywhere from $120. The nice snare drum that I got, I got a really nice snare drum for myself. The one that I just sold recently. Yeah. That was $300.
But I could get one for $120 or something?
Probably less, honestly. You can probably find a used one.
I would get a used one.
Yeah, just get a used one. You could get way less than that. Probably 60.
Oh
50,
man,
60.
I could get him a drum set.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
but you got to get the stand as well. So you have to get
with the sticks, the stand, and the snare, how much do you think I could get all used?
probably 80, depending on
yeah.
who you're talking to, right? Like there might be somebody who's really nice who will just throw in the sticks anyways.
Yeah.
Right. But sticks aren't too expensive.
Sweet.
The cheap stands are pretty easy to find as well. But we're getting very off topic we're getting really in depth about like drum specific stuff. I feel like this is nuanced. Is this really, is this fun for you to?
Yeah, I like music.
okay.
I love music, and no one ever did anything with me musically at all.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
I mean, Logan showed me how to play drums for 45 minutes while we were drinking in somebody's basement once.
Nice.
That's like about the extent I have of playing any kind of music.
Yeah, man. I loved playing music. It was great, dude. I learned a lot. I used to play.
Are you gonna still play?
Do I still play?
Will you still play?
Would I?
I know you don't right
now. For
now.
sure. 100%.
Why are you not now?
I don't have anywhere to play. I don't have a drum set to play. I don't have the equipment.
Yeah, that's
right.
fair,
That's kind of hard without the stuff.
Yeah, we'll just put a drum set in Mad Lab.
That would be a terrible idea. Terrible.
We have dogs and babies running around there and all sorts of stuff.
The dogs and the babies would hate that drum set.
Well, first of all, other business, I don't know what happened on the roof, but it kind of flooded the walls and the ceiling, so we're at odds right now.
So basically, yeah, so my timeline for music was really simple. I started out with snare, did some bell stuff, and then got really into the drums, started doing lessons with my friend's dad.
Yeah.
When I was in 8th grade, like private lessons, one-on-one. And then I got into jazz band when I was in high school. And that was what I really wanted to do. The only reason I actually did like marching band and concert and stuff like that was because our band instructor, because we had 3 tiers of jazz bands in Seattle, or at least our high school. Seattle jazz, this is like one of the least surprising things probably for you, but like Seattle jazz, the Seattle high school jazz scene is really good.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like our two rival high schools were like national competitors. Like they won like they would win like
our
national
high school jazz
championships.
band was a national competitor.
Yeah. Nice.
Oddly
man.
enough.
Well, yeah, we had some pretty good jazz musicians around. So, but we had 3 bands. We had the first, second, third, right? For jazz. And I really wanted to obviously get to that first. And I started out in second, and I really wanted to get to that first band. And so I remember I practiced a lot, got to the point where I finally was like, okay, I think I might be ready to start trying out. And then I found out that I had to join marching band and do all the other things that I really didn't want to do as much. But it was great. It was no. I loved it. I said yes. I said
you did do
hell
marching
yes.
band.
So I did. I was in march. By the time I graduated, dude, I was section leader. I joined it reluctantly because I had to for a jazz band, but I ended up loving it. Like I was section leader for all of percussion, our concert band. Dude, I was traveling for band all the time for different competitions, for marching, for concert, for jazz, for like all that stuff, dude. I was even the drummer for our vocal jazz combo, which was just a bass player, the drummer, me, and then a pianist, right? And so they would do that we would play with the vocal jazz, and so I would do competitions with them as well. I had jazz band. I had jazz band practice every morning before school, 0 period. So I would be there an hour before everybody. And then I would have percussion class during 3rd period, so another, and then pretty much after soccer practice most days, or even sometimes in between, I would have marching band practice and concert band practice before I would go home and go to sleep.
Damn.
And I would somehow fit a workout in there sometimes too. I don't know. It was crazy. I was doing so much shit by the end. By my senior year, man, it was nuts. But it was so much fun. I loved all the stuff that I was involved with band, and especially being the section leader too.
Yeah.
My band instructor and I became really close. Mr. James, big shout out to you. You were a great teacher.
He's probably listening.
Yeah, I'm hoping he was. Yeah. But he was great. He encouraged me to do a lot of shit that I wouldn't have done otherwise. And like it was awesome, dude. And I kind of took off with it. And yeah, man, I do really, I'm glad I didn't go into music. He did say it was really funny. He, at the very end when I graduated, cause we played, obviously our band, and including me, played the music at my graduation. So I was walking, and then I had to go back and play music for everybody else. And so my band instructor looked at me. He's like, this was just the kind of guy he was. He would joke around about stuff like this. He said, if you don't go into music in college, don't ever show your face around this school again. As a joke. He was laughing and just cheesing. But
Did you play in college?
Nah, not at all. I didn't even
try. Never showed
didn't
your
even
face
bother. Never showed my face again.
Damn.
Yeah. Actually, the last time I saw him, he was on a date. I think I kind of caught him on a date. He did not expect to see me, and I was like, hey, Mr. James. I'm like, oh, yeah. It was pretty funny.
So you made it awkward for him.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. I was with my friend, and she had to kind of pull me away. She was like, get the fuck out of here, man. Come on. And I'm like, come on.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, it was a good time, man. But yeah, music was great. I have a lot of good memories from playing in band and all that stuff. And it's taught a lot of really good skills too. A lot of fun stuff came out of it. And to this day, I love playing the drums so much. So
you gotta get back to it, man.
Eventually I will. I have no doubt. What I really want to do is one day when I have the expendable income, is buy an electric drum set.
I'm about to sneeze.
You all right? Yeah?
Yeah, I thought I was going to sneeze.
Okay. Yeah, I want to buy.
I have very violent sneezes, so I try not to sneeze. Otherwise, I'll feel like I'll almost like come out of my chair.
Nice.
Or like break some of this equipment.
Nice.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, all I was saying is eventually once I have the expendable income, I'll get an electric drum set because they're pretty pricey. They're like a good one is probably like costing you about $3,000 to $4,000. And then, but they're quiet besides like the tapping of the drumsticks onto like rubber, right? Or mesh or whatever the material that is used for the electric drum set. But to you just put some headphones on like the ones we have now and you hear it like a normal drum set.
That's pretty sick.
And that's why I would want a good one though, is because bad ones, the reactions don't time out, but like good
like
ones,
delayed.
Yeah,
that would screw up your whole rhythm.
Oh, it sucks. I hate playing on bad electric drum sets, but the really nice ones are chef's kiss. They're amazing.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. And you can also switch up how they sound. Like there's like 100 different types of sounds. So like they make different noises and the toms sound different and the snares sound different. The cymbals sound different and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Eventually I'll get one of those, but yeah, man, it was a good time. So yes, I played music. So yes,
and drums.
Yeah.
I have to pee.
Okay. If you want to watch on YouTube and maybe see me cry a little bit, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment with any future questions that you might want to see on the show. So thank you again for listening, and we hope to see your comments, hear back from you soon. I'm not really sure how to phrase that, but we're going to go with it.
Answer your questions.
Answer your questions soon. Good. Thanks, Giules.
You're welcome.
Bye.